Hello Broducers, it's Özgün here. In this tutorial, we are gonna talk about how to develop your own signature sound. When you hear this term, it's like, oh, this artist has a really unique sounding, that artist got a signature sound. So it's something like this. You get some sounds that people try and copy you because you made or find some sound, it's really fresh, and somehow you change the sound in your own way, or you develop in your own way. So it reminds people you when they hear. It's like when we hear the future rave leads, we just instantly remember Morten and David Guetta, right? So today I'm gonna talk about how to develop your own signature sound. And if you're ready, let's get into that tutorial. Okay, I'm gonna use the last week's FLP. I just changed it a bit. Right now I have a drop idea, like a foundation kick and some drums, and it sounds like this. Yes, now it's really basic, just having the foundation. When I start making some drops, I just put some drums to get the vibe, because like it's never worked for me to create the melody out of nothing. At least I have some background elements if I'm working on the drop. I need to hear some vibe, some drums, some percussions, something like this. And first thing to do to create a bass line, so we can build all the drop top of it. I created this MIDI, now it doesn't have any sound assigned to it. And I'm gonna use the new synth, it's gonna coming end of this month, called Horizen. So this is not a sponsored video, by the way. They just sent me the VST, the beta version, and asked me just take a look, and if you like, you can make a video about it. So I thought it's worth to talk about in a video, and I'm gonna demonstrate how to develop your own signature sound in any synth, you know? And today I'm gonna use Horizen, the upcoming hybrid synthesizer. I never call myself a sound designer. I'm more like a preset tweaker, you know? There are some synths like Nexus. You got the sound, but you don't have any control of it. When the sound first came, like it's so fresh, it's so amazing, but everyone can use it because you cannot change it properly. For Serum, I love Serum. I'm using it almost in my every track. But the problem with it, it's just too basic, you know. You can do tons of tweaks, but it's not as quality as Nexus. So that's why I love Avenger, which is a hybrid synth. The Horizen, it is another hybrid synth, just my style, you know, because I like to tweak the presets. I like to find almost Nexus good quality, like release ready sound, but I want to tweak it in my own way, so it's not gonna sound like everyone else can just double click and use the sound, you know? I hope it makes sense. That's why this hybrid synth is really important for me. For the bass, okay, let's take a look. I'm not gonna demonstrate everything now. I'm just gonna go to the presets, because this is what I do when I make a track. And I search for some sounds that I can start with. Yeah, it's a decent sub. Let's hear how it's gonna sound with the MIDI. I'm gonna try to tweak some of the parameters and get some more unique vibe, unique bassline, instead of just a sub preset. This is a good point to start. In this VST, you can use the synth engine, which generates like an oscillator, and it's gonna generate some sound. And in here, this section, you have 4 voice inputs, and you can choose any of the samples, like pre-built samples that sound good and decent. You can layer the oscillators with the samplers, and you can get a really cool hybrid sound. So I'm gonna just go here and put any of the samples. So we have these bass samples. I tried this Casino and it sounds really nice. And I gotta activate it. And now like it has an 808 sample and this oscillator, and this second sampling place is gonna play. Yeah, let's try with and without. It becomes something else, like the whole vibe changed, and this is what we are looking for. Okay, let's load the span to here. So we see what we are generating. Yeah, the first heel is looking good to me, but the second one not enough. So I think this one was the second. I think I can just activate the sub, the last oscillator. Yeah, now we have a dedicated low end and we already made the preset by ourselves. So we can just save the preset and use it in other tracks too. We can consistent on the preset selection and it's gonna eventually create your signature way of sounding. Because this preset now belongs to us and probably no one gonna make this combination just like we did exactly. So okay, let's play this one with the kick. But first, I already set the channels. To save time, we send it to here. Let's call it sub and let's sidechain it. I'm just gonna quickly balance them. I think we can still give some overdrive to the sub. Let's get rid of the limiter on the master. And also we can just boost and like tweak. Now I'm getting the same amount of low end in the waveform. Okay, maybe in the second part we can make it unique and just go like an offbeat. Sounds good. Okay, I'm gonna put a step. I have a MIDI. Now we gotta work on the sound. I'm gonna load an Horizen again. So for this, I already checked the sounds. I think let's check. So I already used this sound in the previous video. It was this preset, I think. I really like this sound. I can just go to the player and there are ARP gates and chord modes. So I'm just gonna turn off the ARP. And we instantly get a really amazing sound. Even we can go keep customize it. You see this screen, right? There are a cursor like this. So this determines the first sample, second sample, and third sample. So there are 3 samples playing in this sound, which are these guys. And you can just go one of the other. And it's gonna change the sound. It's like you can use it as a bass, as a plug, or as a lead. Or you can just go somewhere around here and find the best sweet spot for you. Even you can automate this little guy, I think. You can just click this P icon and you see like a recorder. So maybe I can just do something like this. Click record and do like this. And when I play, it's gonna always do this. So, and we are adding some variation to the sound. And the good thing with it, it's never come to the same position. And every hit of the sound, every one-shot sample, it's gonna sound a bit different. So let's hear it in the track. Okay, in the channel, we are just cutting the lows and putting just a little bit of reverb. And I have a quick sidechain, so I can just put it like this. Okay, it's time to make the lead. I have this MIDI for the lead. Like it's some kind of rhythmic stuff, but we are gonna do some cool trick with it. I'm gonna load a Horizen, and I'm gonna cheat in here. Like I have this preset. It's really close to some of the Medix tracks. I just asked the developer guys, so how can I achieve this sound? And they just made me and sent the preset. By the way, they told me this is the old version, and when it's released, there will be more features and interface gonna a bit more different than this. So this is the first beta version. Just I gotta mention that. Yeah, they made me this preset. It sounds really unique in its own way. So there are FX section in here, just like Serum and other VSTs. You can just give some FX to the samples, like the first and second and the third and the fourth, which is in here. And this area just belong to the samples. So you can especially give them specific FX. And also you have some master FX that's gonna affect all of them. You can put some EQ on it, or you can give it delay, reverb, and compression, anything you want. In this case, I'm gonna just disable its delay and reverb, because this is what I always do. I don't like to use the ones in the plugin, because when you have like separate plugins and every plugin, if they have their own reverb, it's not gonna be sound in the same context in the track. So that's why I use my reverbs in externally, like a post. But yeah, you can put tons of FX in the FX section. I prepared some channel for the leads before I start the video. I just put the OTT and I boost the highs, give a little bit of mids, and just cutting the lows. And in here we have a Camel Crusher giving British clean. Another EQ, because like after Camel Crusher you always need to cut because there will be unwanted low end frequencies. And I'm using the Pancake, so it's like panning the sound to get a bit more bigger vibe. And I have this delay settings and I have this reverb. Okay, let's hear how it's gonna sound with this MIDI. It's really weird just how I asked for them. So we can make something like this. Let's choose this area and go to the Horizen. Let's make it 12. So we can create some automation. And we can do some little trick like this in the second part. Yeah, just you can always make some pitch automations to make the leads more interesting. It always works. Even you can make it in the one note and like go instantly to the normal value. It's gonna create some unique artifacts in the sound. And also we can just work on the filters as well. To activate the filter, you just click this. So in this case, one sound is filtering, the other is not. So let's see what happens if we filter two of them. We should definitely make some automations for the filter, like insert inside of the plugin. We can create some really cool sounds like this. This adds a little bit more variation to the drop. Okay, the next sound I'm gonna make a fill. I just copied the MIDI from last week's FLP. I didn't even change it. So I'm just searching for some kind of lead sound. I think we can use this one. Let me turn off the processing for now. Okay, we just need to make it a bit more gritty. I'm gonna try to layer it more sounds. Alright, now the first sound is deactivated. Let's turn on and see how it's gonna sound. Right now, like the first sound is not playing the same note. You can just create some chords with it. I'm just gonna move it like this to the original position, or maybe like this because I wanna make it really deep. This one sounds good. Okay, let's go. Maybe take a look of the filter of it. This can work, and also let's automate this filter so it can like filter in when we are getting close to it. Let's do it like this. It can be something like this. Nice. Let's turn on the processing. Just a camel crusher and low cut and reverb, and that's all. Sounds nice. Okay, let's continue with the next sound. I just used the sweep FX in the last video. I'm gonna use the same MIDI as the last video. It's the sweep FX. But this time I'm gonna try to find some different sound, different lead. And I'm gonna again tweak the preset to make it unique. And let's go to the leads. This one sounds nice. Oh, let's go. I think we gotta choose monoglide. And see, like, there are two voices in here. There are two samples already loaded, but like deactivated. Let's check how they sound. It totally makes it really more fat. I think I'm gonna use it, but this time I'm gonna give EQ, so cut the lows. So after just fine tuning it, I think it's ready to use it in the track. Let's hear how it's gonna sound. I'm just gonna deactivate the reverb of it because I'm gonna use this, just a regular reverb. That's why like I wanna be consistent on it. Sounds good. And now I want to add some background sound. I already find a sound. It's from Horizen again. So when I check in here, I think that one was in Sound FX, alt tape, or no, it was static. Yes, the static one can be usable with really silent in the tracks. It should give some kind of texture to the track. Let's call it static, and I'm gonna give it sidechain and also just cut the lows. And we are gonna mix it really back of the mix. Sounds really nice. And lastly, I'm gonna use some exhaust. We can always use samples, but like recently I'm just working on faster than 140 BPM, and there is really hard to find exact like sample that fitting my track. Because when you make a music like 128, you can find tons of samples, but when you change the BPM, you gotta create your samples at some point. So for this, I just find a really good preset. You should do this. Like most of the people never take a look of the FX section. Just take a look. There are really cool white noises, risers, sweep up, sweep down, that kind of FX. So you can always create your channel, create your sound, and then you can render it in every BPM you want, and you can create some sample pack kind of stuff for yourself. So we have this exhaust. Those are like a downlifters, should be usable in post drop or break start. This is also can be usable in a big room track, but I like the first one. I'm just gonna sidechain it, but not that much. We can always cut the lows. But as you can see, I think it's already processed. Yeah, like they are high cut and low cut it. To be safe, yeah, I just cut it once more. Let's hear how it's gonna sound with like this. Okay, now I'm just gonna consolidate the exhaust like this without any insert FX. And yeah, now we have our own sample, so I can just send it to here to save some CPU. And yeah guys, this is how you create your signature sound. Always find some good presets, find new synths, new fresh sound packs, and then try to tweak and create your unique soundings out of them. Because it's always hard to create something from zero if you are not experiencing in sound design. And like for me, I always like to find some cool preset and try to shape it as my own way. And this Horizen I really like. Again, this is not a sponsored video. Like I hope the next version, like interface can be just a little bit simpler, because like it takes some time me to like understand it. But other than that, I really liked it. And they told me there will be some techno packs, EDM packs, trap packs, something like this. They are going to release packs for specific genre. I'm gonna check this company and this VST. I'm gonna give them a chance. I think Horizen can be a really good synth if they bring more fresh sounds. I really like them and make my own way. And yeah guys, today that was it. I hope you can apply this to your own productions too. I'm gonna play the final result now. And if you have questions, you can come to Discord, join the channel, or write me in the comments. And thanks for watching. See you on the next video. Bye bye.